Hello everyone. 1 year on from the Tokyo Nutrition for Growth Summit, we are delighted to announce at the Scaling Up Nutrition Civil Society Network that we are launching a new social accountability grassroots campaign that will run worldwide to make sure that we hold ourselves and all of our partners to account for the commitments that were made.
I'm extremely happy with the initiative of the Sun Civil Society Network to take account of the implementation of the Nutrition for Growth commitments. Because about 1 year ago, many countries and many other stakeholders made strong commitments in the Tokyo 2021 Nutrition for Growth Summit. The commitments were made for up to more than $27 billion of investment.
2021 was a big year for nutrition with the Tokyo Nutrition for Growth Summit. That helped us accelerate action to tackle malnutrition in all its forms. We now face the global food crisis, and this risks reversing decades of progress on nutrition, and we have only 2 years to achieve the World Health Assembly targets. In 2022, the SDG advocacy hubs worked hard to support achieving these pledges by convening diverse actors around these issues and pushing us all to do more.
Poverty and inequality in our societies deny people access to food. Current social protection systems are limited.
At the Scaling Up Nutrition Civil Society Network, we were part of the process of making commitments, and we promised to the world and to our network that we would provide more learning opportunities for all of our members. I'm delighted to say that in the last 12 months, we have provided those opportunities in spades.
As committed at Nutrition for Growth Summit 2021, we are happy to say that we are making impressive progress on advocacy for good nutrition practices, especially focus on food habit and food behavior.
Exactly 1 year ago, UN Nutrition affirmed its commitment to unite ourselves into one UN to fight malnutrition in all its forms and leave no one behind. This basically provided the foundation for our mission, as formulated in our first UN nutrition strategy. A range of stakeholders, including some government focal points, provided inputs for the strategy 2022-2030.
Dear friends and colleagues, at end for the summit in December 2021, the Asia Coordination Group of Sun Civil Society Network pledged to strengthen capacity of its members to monitor and advocate for full compliance of International Code for Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes.
En la Cumbre de Nutrición para el Crecimiento celebrada en Tokio en el 2021, la Alianza Nutre se comprometió a contribuir a las iniciativas nacionales para la disminución de la desnutrición crónica en la niñez a través de la lactancia materna. Como resultado, hemos dirigido nuestros esfuerzos a la defensa del Código Internacional de Sucedáneos, la promoción del etiquetado frontal de alimentos, intervenciones comunitarias para sensibilizar, informar y educar sobre la importancia de la lactancia materna y la seguridad alimentaria nutricional.
The Micronutrients Forum affirms its Nutrition for Growth commitments. The Micronutrient Data Innovation Alliance convenes stakeholders on micronutrient data. The Mighty Nutrients Coalition focused on global advocacy for micronutrients. The Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies Consortium triggered national action on multiple micronutrient supplements in mothers. And Standing Together for Nutrition generated evidence to inform advocacy on the impact of the war in the Ukraine and the global food crisis on malnutrition in vulnerable women and children.
Sun Civil Society Alliance of Bangladesh highly appreciates the government of Bangladesh for making such ambitious commitments for nutrition during N4G. Nutrition International and all the organizations under Sun Civil Society Network in Bangladesh will be supporting government in implementing the country commitments of N4G.
One of WFP's commitments for the N4G was to increase the proportion of staples that is fortified from 60 to 80%. That means we must increase the fortified rice that we distribute as WFP. For that, we have done a lot of work with governments in the form of technical assistance, and that enables us to now have a larger possibility to source the fortified rice for our own programming.
Nutrisi International is proud to be the lead of the SUN CSA Indonesia that advocates for the scaling up of nutrition. We provided support for the Indonesian government in formulating its commitment for N4G to accelerate stunting reduction.
In December 2021 at Nutrition for Growth, UNICEF committed to implement our contribution to the Global Action Plan on Wasting, called No Time to Waste, to reach millions of children with services for the early prevention, detection and treatment of child wasting.
At the N4G summit in December last year, the SUN Civil Society Alliance Pakistan made two pledges. One, to advocate for making food and nutrition security as a fundamental right in the Constitution of Pakistan. And two, to decentralize the SUN Civil Society Alliance.
We provided training opportunities on gender, on food systems, on nutrition-sensitive agriculture, and most importantly on the right to food. We have done it all in cohort with our members and for our members, including involvement of the International Institute of Rural Reconstruction in the Philippines and Pierre Cook, one of our lead group members.
At the Power of Nutrition, we are extremely proud of our achievements. We've managed to leverage over $500 million for the nutrition sector. We are also confident we'll hit our impact target, helping prevent 600,000 cases of stunting by the end of the year.
Collaborating with Liebert, we are providing training to the community stakeholders to utilize locally produced or locally farmed food to improve nutrition in a good manner. Similarly, we are trying to mainstreaming private sector to produce quality food and to be accountable for good nutrition of the whole citizen.
Since last year, our UN members have also jointly contributed to the development of guidance on how to integrate nutrition into the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework and a paper on the linkages between the environment and nutrition. Both documents leverage nutrition's potential to drive progress towards the SDGs and foster partnerships.
We are pleased to report that we are going to organize a capacity building training of our civil society members in our upcoming regional meeting, which is scheduled in first quarter of 2023.
The United Nations is supporting the government of Ethiopia's efforts to reduce malnutrition in this country by 2030. We're working with the government to implement the National Food and Nutrition Strategy and the Secota Declaration to ensure that at least 27 million people, especially pregnant and breastfeeding women and their children, have access to quality health and nutrition services across the country.
Durante el 2021, la Fundación Éxito contribuyó con el objetivo de erradicar la desnutrición crónica en Colombia, realizando una inversión de más de $5.2 millones y beneficiando con atención nutricional a más de 70,000 niños, niñas, madres gestantes y lactantes. Gracias a esto logramos que el 55.7% de nuestros beneficiarios menores de 12 meses se recuperaran de la desnutrición crónica. Por otra parte, queremos invitar al Gobierno Nacional de Colombia a establecer una meta en el Plan Nacional de Desarrollo para reducir la desnutrición crónica, que pase de un 10.8 a un 6.5% en el 2026, acorde a los compromisos del Estado con el ODS número 2, Hambre Cero.
In the 12 months since the Tokyo Nutrition for Growth Summit, FAO has made significant progress in fulfilling its commitments to support its members in achieving the SDGs and the global nutrition and diet-related targets. Firstly, FAO endorsed a strategy on climate change and a strategy on science and innovation in June of this year, both including access to healthy diets as a priority. Secondly, we're already seeing an increase in nutrition-sensitive projects and more country offices supporting host governments in the area of nutrition. This current progress is benefiting our members in efforts oriented towards the realization of FAO's vision for nutrition, a world where all people are eating healthy diets from efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems.
This year, We joined the National BIG Coalition, advocated for a BIG alongside a sugar tax, and helped Cabinet to adopt the cost of hunger and the Filling the Nutrient Gap study.
In the 6 months following Nutrition for Growth, WHO and UNICEF have established an Anemia Action Alliance. Its first activity has been to support the development of a comprehensive framework to catalyze progress in anemia reduction. WHO has also developed an acceleration plan to stop obesity. The World Health Assembly has endorsed it, and 28 countries have started implementing it.
Hemos contribuido a la formación en instituciones públicas y privadas y generamos articuladamente con el Ministerio de Salud investigaciones sobre las contribuciones económicas de la lactancia materna y otras que favorecen prácticas hospitalarias para favorecer el inicio temprano de la lactancia materna. Por lo anterior, seguimos con nuestro compromiso como alianza de apoyar las políticas públicas en nutrición implementadas en nuestro país.
Working closely with the National Parliamentary Task Force on SDGs, we have chalked out a roadmap for getting the policymakers on board.
We've launched several advocacy campaigns which include strong nutrition elements, from Hungry for Action, demanding action now to save lives, to building resilience in the future and securing the future, to the Beans is How campaign, offering an alternative, nutritious, affordable food and aiming to double bean consumption in the next 5 years. We've seen people come together from public, private sector, government, international organisations to rally in these causes. We all have a role to play in translating this terrific ambition into tangible action.
We invite sector colleagues to continue their transparency in commitments and achievements and welcome this challenge ourselves. We express our solidarity and support towards SAN CSN Social Accountability Campaign.
As we continue working with our government, we hold them to account to operationalize Namibia's food and nutrition security coordination systems effectively, to jointly break the intergenerational cycles of poverty and malnutrition.
I invite SAN CSN Asia Coordination Group to continue to account the N4G commitments.
We invite our colleagues and government counterparts to ensure that we deliver on our strategy.
At this stage, we would also like to invite all civil society alliances in some countries to account to our commitments, and in turn, we will challenge them to achieve their own, so that we make progress together.
Invito a todas las alianzas de la sociedad civil de América Latina a motivar a los actores y favorecer el logro de sus compromisos del país.
For a continued meaningful progress, I invite the civil society alliances in the region to mutually reinforce accountability.
And we also encourage our sister UN agencies to share their progress on their N4G commitments.
Now, moving forward, I make a promise to you all that we will continue to hold our civil society alliances accountable for the commitments that they've made. And in return, I ask you, our civil society alliances, to hold us accountable at the Secretariat for those commitments that we continue to make. Together, we can make progress.
So after 1 year, we need to take stock. And I'm very happy that the civil society is taking the lead in this. Why? Because we need to encourage each other and inspire each other to live up to the expectations we have been raising and to live up to the enthusiasm that we all experienced last year, especially during these difficult times. Please live up to the commitments. Please work together. Please be ready to hold yourself and hold others to account. Why do we do this together? Because
we're all accountable.
We are all accountable.
Todos somos responsables.
We are all accountable.
We all are accountable.
We are all accountable.
We're all accountable.
As we all are accountable.
Todos somos comprometidos.
We all are accountable.
We are all 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 accountable. Thank you.